Hi guys, welcome to a new vlog. We're doing my 6 prompts for the end of the year vlog. We're going to do July's picks. It is currently the 19th of July, so I'm doing this very, very late, but because I've decided I'm doing all of them in a vlog, it's not the end of the world. So I picked 2 prompts out and I will read them. So the first one is... oh, this one's a good one. So this one's read a gifted book. I actually really like this one. Again, my friends are amazing. They send me books, and there is one that I have been meaning to read for ages, and it's very short, so I'm very, very glad that it's downstairs though. So I will yeah. I'm not deciding exactly what I'm reading yet, but I have ideas. There's a few different ones, but I think I know which one. Okay, so there is 2 here, so I'm just going to put them back in there and shake it up. This one. Okay. Read a non-sapphic LGBTQIA plus book. Okay, so what do I have? Okay, I'm going to go and see what I have on my shelves. I definitely have LGBT books on my shelves, but I think I have a lot of male, and I think I want to try and read something non-binary or genderqueer or trans if I could. Not that there's anything against male, but I just think that I'm trying to pull away from the sapphic because I'm reading too much, and I think that male is just like kind of it. There are more books out there that are male than there are sapphic. So I want to read something that is trans. Actually, I've just had a thought. Both of the books that I've decided I'm going to read are downstairs, so I do apologise. We're just going to go from here. So for my gifted book, I have the Tales of Exandria critical role graphic novel for Artagan. Artagan is one of the best characters, and I've been so scared to read this graphic novel, because I have such high expectations of what this book could be, because the character is just a chaos gremlin. He's incredible. I love him. But I'm so scared that this is not going to be the justice of the spectacularness of this NPC that Matthew Mercer came up with. So I got this for my birthday in May, so it isn't one of the one of the books that I've had for a very long time. It's just a book that I have been putting off since May. However, I have wanted this book since they announced it. So the fact that I've not read it is crazy, actually crazy. So this one was gifted by the lovely Lisa. So thank you very much, Lisa. I really appreciate it. And I will be reading it. And the next one is the Read a Non-Sapphic LGBTQIA plus book. And I have decided what I'm going to be reading is Her Majesty's Royal Coven by Juno Dawson. Now, I have had this for a very long time. The lovely Tori actually gave me her copy because she had 2 copies. And I got it signed by Juno Dawson the same weekend at Yelk, where Tori, Becca and I got stuck in the lift with Juno Dawson. You couldn't make it up. It was very, very strange weekend. But I do believe this is downstairs somewhere, so I can't show you that either. I was thinking about it more and more, and I was like, I don't have that many trans authors. I do have quite a few. I will say thank you, Olimocrit, for doing so many trans characters in their books. I think it's actually spectacular, the representation that you get in the Illumicrates and the Afterlight. Like the Afterlight, you get so many different voices, and you know, you've got your sapphic, you've got your male, you've got transgender stories, and I think in a time where it is so tumultuous for queer people and it's really scary, we need people to shout these stories out, and I think it's really, really important to read those stories. So I will be reading those 2 books going forward, and I will let you guys know what I think of them. I do have a few other books I'm currently reading, so this might be on a back burner, but again, it is more the fact of I want to get the books picked so I can read them this month and push them over into next month, because it doesn't matter how long I read them, because this vlog will be going out at the end of the year, because I'm going to be doing a vlog of all 12 prompts within this. If it gets too much, I might do 2 and do like 6 books per vlog, but for now we're going to be doing this. Hello, it is the 29th of July. There are cars going outside of my house, and I just read Tales of Xandria Artagan, or Artagan, or however the fuck you say it, because I never know. I've been putting this off for a while. First off, I want to say the art is stunning. There are some full page bits of art that is just gorgeous. I'm not going to show you because spoilers, but it's so good. I'm going to force my fiance to read this when she's up, which will be tomorrow. I'm not going to force her to read it tomorrow, but I'm going to force her to read it in the next coming month. It's so good. It was so good. I really, really enjoyed it. The story was really, really interesting. I'm really curious because it seems as if it could be a continuation, and I would love to see more books from Artagan's point of view, because Artie is amazing and I love him so much, and he's just the weirdest little guy, and I love him. He's such an incredible character. There was touches to Vox Machina and Mighty Nine, which I love. There was cameos. Oh my god. It was everything I wanted it to be. And I'm really, really glad that I read it, because I have been reading or trying to read Her Majesty's Royal Coven, but I just kept on getting distracted and not reading it. So I've been struggling to read that for a while, and I went, you know what, I need something fun and easy and quick, which is why I started this one, and genuinely just really, really impressed with it. I'm really, really happy I've read it, and I can't wait to read more from Critical Role, because they can do no wrong in my eyes. And I know I'm biased, but I think a lot of their graphic novels are really, really good. But yeah, so that is the first prompt done, which was a gifted book. And then I am reading Her Majesty's Royal Coven for LGBTQIA plus non-sapphic. Becca has told me there is a sapphic couple in this, but because the author is trans, I am looking at that. Just because of the trans rep. I'm assuming it has trans rep in it. If it doesn't, I can pick another book. But that's the rep that I'm repping. Good English, Ashley. Hello. I might be a little bit croaky because I have just filmed a video where I have talked for 20 minutes about Critical Role. It is currently the 3rd of August. So if you don't know, campaign 4 just got announced, and I did a little bit of a reaction. I will put that there, or wherever it is that the videos go, just so that you've got that. If I remember, I probably won't. But yeah, I just talked about that for a while, so now my throat's a little bit sore because I have been talking. I talked for like 20 minutes non-stop. So yeah, but because it is August, I thought I would give you a roundup of what I've done. I have been reading Her Majesty's Royal Coven. I am about 40 pages in, if that. Maybe it's only like 30. I'm really enjoying it. It's really interesting. It is so British, which I understand, and I like. It's just a little bit jarring when you're so used to reading American books. But it's really interesting. There's not a lot that's happened, and I've only been like drip fed a few little bits here and there because I'm only a couple of chapters in, but I'm really enjoying it. It's just taken me a while to read it because I've got so much else on at the moment, which, like, you know, we love a busy person, but I am enjoying it. So we're gonna do my next pick for August to see what I get. So this is the first one. So it's read a book over 500 pages. Now, I'm already reading a book over 500 pages because Becca's Patreon pick is Burial Bones in the Midnight Soil, and I'm reading that, but I'm not going to pick that because I think that's a bit of a cop-out because I'm already reading that. Next one. Ooh, read a fantasy. Okay. I'm going to get back to you because these are probably both going to be quite chunky fantasies that I read. Let me have a think. I'm back. So I was looking, obviously, so I picked read a book over 500 pages. I don't think this one is. No, it's not. So one of them was read a book over 500 pages and the other one was read a fantasy. So the book that I picked for read over a book over 500 pages is The Gutter Prayer by Gareth Hanrahan. This book I've had for ages and I really like the sound of it, but high fantasy is sometimes a bit scary and I just never got past the first couple of pages, and that's not good. I think it was prologue. So this one, I'm going to read the back of it. Enter a city of saints and thieves. The city of Graedon, probably said that wrong, stands eternal, a refuge from the war that rages beyond its borders. But in the ancient tunnels, deep beneath its streets, a malevolent power has begun to stir. The fate of the city rests in the hands of 3 thieves. They alone stand against the coming darkness. As conspiracies unfold and secrets are revealed, their friendship will be tested to the limit. If they fail, all will be lost and the streets of Graedon will run with blood. It sounds interesting. Those are the friends. I'm curious. I picked this book up ages ago. Absolutely ages ago. Probably when it came out. When did this come out? This is going to really, really be bad for me, isn't it? This came out in 2019, so not great. And then the second book that I have decided to, so this one's for the reader fantasy. I'm going to read The Battle Drum by Sarah L. Arifi. I read The Final Strife earlier this year and adored it. It was so good, and the ending makes me want to know what happens next. So I already have the audiobook for this, and I'm totally ready to read it. So I just thought, you know what? Push yourself to read it. Also, like, the blue, it does not stand out as much as it should. I'm hyped. So this one, the first one is about a girl who was part of a revolution or resistance. Resistance, I think, is a better word. So when she was born as one of the upper class, and they have magic, and they rule over those with different coloured blood. And these rebels went in, stole the children from their cradles and put children who are the lower class because of their blood, they put them in their place. And this girl has been brought up thinking she was brought up to fight in the arenas to become some of the higher ups so that they could change the information. I'm describing this really, really poorly. But because of things that have happened, she ends up being a little bit less than prepared. And we follow her and we follow another character who is one of the Red Bloods who... I think it's Red Bloods. She's one of the ones who was swapped. So she's one of the children who shouldn't be in power. And she is struggling because she doesn't have the magic that she should. And we see them as they try and do this trial. And it's a fantastic book. And I'm doing it no justice by explaining it. But these are the 2 books that I will be reading next for this vlog, and I'm really, really excited. I need to finish Her Majesty's Royal Coven first, so I will be doing that first, but these are my next picks and I'm really, really excited for them. This one specifically, I have the audiobook, so I'm going to be able to read that quite easily. And The Gut of Prayer, I'm really, really excited to actually like put my mind and body into put my mind into this and actually read it. So yeah, these ones will be good. And I'm going to stop talking now because my throat is quite hurting. So I'm going to go and relax and maybe read a little bit more of Her Majesty's Royal Coven, and hopefully I will get back to you with information. But we have another box. Hi, this one's here.
I am not naked. I'm wearing clothes.
You can see.
You can only just see.
You can see.
Just want to clarify, I am wearing clothes.
You could see. So I have read a little bit more of Her Majesty's Royal Coven, and she doesn't know this information, which is why she's looking at me like that. I'm now really enjoying it. So I'm about 50 odd pages in. Things have kind of come to light. We now know a little bit more about what's going on, because the first couple of chapters are just like, oh, this is this person and this is this person and this is this person. I just kind of sat there and I was like, you're telling me so much information, but you're not giving me like anything. And then suddenly it was like, oh, introducing potential big bad, and it's this. And I went, oh, I'm invested. So yeah. Should we do it spoilery? We're hands up spoilering. We're doing a Becca.
When my hand goes down, there's no more spoilers.
There's no more spoilers. So we found out that there is like a prophecy for Leviathan, which was scary as hell. And then we suddenly went to this prison, which first off, the men in that prison were disgusting. Like, oh look, lads, like this, that, and the other. Like, do you think she's going to rip our cocks off now? And then I'd rather, like, as long as she sucks me off first. And it's like, that's disgusting and also apt, because men are men. Not all men, but men. So we had that. And then we met the boy who was just so scared. You can't tell me anything. And he was just sat there, and he was literally like at the top. And just so scared that, like, and then, like, Helena, and here's the thing, everything Helen is saying about, like, I will kill him if it means the end of the world, it doesn't happen. I understand that. However, he's just a baby.
Just a baby.
He's just a baby. So, yeah, that's it. Spoilers, over. Sorry about the really, really bad angle. My arm is really hurting.
We should have just brought the ring.
You said you didn't need it.
Yeah,
yours.
I know.
And then I decided to do this.
I find it really interesting. You're reading book 1 and I'm about to read book 3.
Yeah.
Want to get the audio book.
Stop being bitter about this.
I can't.
That's not what this vlog's about.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, I have not read any of the new books, obviously, because I'm going to finish this book first. I only read a little bit today, but I feel as if I'm going to start like picking it up a bit more. We shall see, because I don't have a lot of time at the moment. But also there's no deadline on this. I just want to finish these books, these 12 books, by the end of the year. So we'll see. Hello. Apologies for this. I have a very, very busy weekend where I'm doing lots of things. There's like something important happening tomorrow. Then Saturday we're going to go see Six. And then on Sunday, my friend's drag pageant thing is having the finale, so we are going to go and support that. And I was like, okay, I need to wash my hair and do stuff, so I was like, I'll wash it now. Forgot that, well, didn't realise we were going to be talking on a clip for myself. Yeah. So just thought, oh, I'll be fine. And then read some. So I'm still reading Her Majesty's Royal Coven. I am almost halfway through, and I want to talk about this. So we're going to talk spoilers. So yep, hands up. This is a spoiler for this book. So one thing I want to say about Juno Dawson so far is she's incredible at kind of capturing that sadness and that, like, also apologies, there's a fly and it just flew right in front of the camera. She has like such a fantastic way of writing sadness and this loneliness and this depth of character, in the sense of like, oh, it's really difficult to describe. So I'm talking about Theo. So Theo is, I don't know why I'm holding this, it's a blank book. Theo is obviously this potential, I'm going to call him the Damien, like the Omen type thing. He is this child that people think are going to bring a Leviathan and bring the end of the world. And she wrote this character who was very obviously horrendously traumatized. Like, this kid won't speak. He's sat in a prison where people are just kind of letting him live there and rot there. Like, he's clearly doesn't have any control of his powers. You find out like so much stuff, and then he gets moved to this place because one person shows him kindness, and she then sees into his nightmares, which are clearly memories of him being literally drowned as a baby. Now, I don't know if this child is some form of thing, because I haven't read that far into it. If this kid does bring about the apocalypse, I'm going to say it that way because, you know, I'm going to call him the big bad. If he is the big bad, I think it's very, very much one of those things of, spoiler alert for Buffy, Willow in season 6. Yeah? Yeah. So, like, kind of bringing the trauma and the trauma shaping him into something because he can't trust people. I'm really hoping he doesn't get betrayed, and I'm really hoping that he doesn't get provoked, but I know that there's every chance that he might. Helena, don't trust her. Don't trust her. It's very, very much, she's doing what she thinks is right for the sake of the coven, but it's not, potentially not. And I don't like it. We also got to a point where Leonie was talking to Celeste, and someone said, it was Helena's husband, said, don't let Helena do this. So, yeah, lots has happened, and I'm really, really intrigued. And I was saying earlier that it's the first book in a long while where I have kind of lost myself in the world. I think the last book that I got truly lost in was
I can take
Silver Cloak.
I can stop.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
The last book that I got fully lost in was Silver Cloak. But yeah, it's really, really good. I'm really enjoying it. It is taking a while to get used to the Britishisms. I think because I've read so many books that are American.
Yeah.
It's really difficult to kind of re-thing in my brain and kind of come to grasp with them saying things that are very British. My God, sorry, that was a fly. That was a fly. There was a fold. Yep. So that's been something to kind of get into the head of, because it's Juno Dawson in this one specifically writes very British. I don't know about other things, but I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm really glad that I picked it up. And now I have to read, I've realised that I want all of the rest of them in hardback, so I'm going to have to try and find them in hardback.
Luckily, Human Rights has only just come out, so that'll be pretty easy.
Yeah. To be fair, I don't care about special editions. I just want a hardback, so it's not as if it's going to be majorly difficult, I can imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am reading that. I haven't started any of the other ones because we have been stupidly busy. It was the food festival, so we did that. We then went down to yours. I went to see a show. We came back, we made a desk. I've got a lovely desk now. It's great. I love it.
And chair.
And a chair. Well,
Don't forget the chair.
Yeah. And so I've got like a nice little setup for working from home. And yeah, it's nice. It's just been really, really busy. And yeah, I've been trying to read a lot more in August, and it just hasn't happened. I keep on reading a little bit and then going, oh, you know, as long as I can read once every, like a bit every day, and then I haven't had a chance to do that, unfortunately. But you know, we get there.
Yeah.
We do get there. And I'm gonna continue on with this book. I think I'm gonna go upstairs whilst Becca is showering. And I'm gonna read the rest of this. Well, not the rest of it. I don't have that much energy, but I'm gonna read as much as I can. And yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Hi. It is Saturday. It is still, well, it's just a minute after 12. And I have read a good chunk of this now, and it kind of took a turn that I didn't expect. So spoiler hand, please. As per.
When the hand goes down, spoilers are over.
Yeah. This turned so quickly from this kind of like fun romp to something that's a really, really serious conversation, and a really, really important conversation. And I'm really glad that I'm reading it. So we found out that Theo is trans. She identifies as a girl, and the way this story swooped from, hey, we've got the end of the world coming, to, oh look, it's all bigotry and turfism. And yeah, it's fucked, to put it politely. Helena is horrendous. I don't like her. She's gross. She's also now considering doing demonic stuff, which, can I just say, I feel like you're missing the point of what you're supposed to be doing. Like, HMRC is supposed to be getting away from demonic, like, possession and stuff like that. And you go, hey, this kid looks like it's going to be a problem with demonic things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a demon to possess me to help counteract that. Turfism.
They're so smart.
They're so...
Sarcasm.
Like, it kills me, and it's really, like, the anger I have about how Helena has dealt with this. But you do see that, and you understand, like, where her character development has come. I'm not agreeing with what she's doing. Neve is fantastic. Holly, I love Holly.
Wait, is this bit spoilers?
Yes. I love Holly. I love when Holly was like, hey, I can't tell you anything because it's not anything to do with me. I promise not to say anything. And then like cried because Theo was trans. Realised that I had started talking about things and realised that everything I spoke about was spoilers. So yeah, I think it's really important because this book has gone from like such a fun, witchy vibes to something really political and something really, really important. And I'm really glad that it's gotten the coverage it has. And I'm so glad because like they have special editions. They do push these out at things like Yalc. They've done unveilings at Yalc. Juno Dawson is a celebrated author. And I think at the moment, when you have so many people who are pushing against trans rights and against the visibility of trans people, I think it's fantastic that we're actually seeing a trans writer being celebrated, a trans book being celebrated, and this to be so big, because I know so many people who've read it.
It's such a big series.
Yeah, and the fact that like you've got special editions and things like that, and you know we saw when Queen Bee came out, like the unveiling of Queen Bee,
yeah,
and competitions at Yalc and things like that, and it's just so important that we have someone. And here's the thing, there should be more. There should be more trans authors out there. There should be more non-binary authors out there. There should be more visibility on it.
And the thing is, there is a lot of trans and non-binary authors out there, but they're not promoted enough by their publishers.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the issue. It's not that they're not out there, it's that they're not being made visible enough.
It's one of the reasons that I love Olimacrate, because Olimacrate do so many...
I stand by the fact that someone I can't remember if it was last year or the year before, but someone looked into all the different, or a few of the different book boxes to see just how diverse they are with like their ratio of like white authors to POC authors, and like straight and queer
/ gender non-conforming
yeah
/ trans.
I'm using queer as an umbrella term.
Yeah, that's fine.
And Fairy Loot are like really slacking. Not so much with POC. No. I think it was a bit, still wasn't 50-50, but it was a bit more closer to being balanced, whereas
I feel like in
queer, they don't tend to have queer, and if there is queer characters in their books, it's not the main characters.
I feel as if you see a lot of, and I'm not judging them for this, because I think any form of representation for any authors of colour is great. Yeah. It's just something that I've noticed that Fairy Loot seem to do a lot of Asian authors. Again, absolutely great for them. I'm really, really happy for Asian authors. I'm not saying that it's anything against that, because I feel like I could very much go, oh, they do too much Asian stories. I'm not saying that. I'm absolutely, you need to have as much representation as possible. Sorry, there's a car that just appeared. So yes, absolutely, 100%. That's great. I'm really, really glad for you. It's just interesting that they go the Asian route and not...
Yeah, and it shouldn't be a case of there's more Asian representation at the cost of there not being as much of other people of colour. It should be very much more balanced in general, because there's still a lot of white authors.
Like, there's very few that I see of Latin authors.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of Latin authors in any book things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a ramble and a half about things like that.
Spoilers over?
Yeah, I'm very glad to see the trans representation, especially in a time so divisive for trans people. I think it's something that's really important. And knowing Juno Dawson is a trans person, you know it's going to be done well. And I'm really glad I picked this one for this, because you were a bit concerned when I said a non-sapphic LGBTQI plus book, because there is a sapphic relationship in that.
Yeah.
And I was sat there and I was like, it's by a trans author, so this automatically goes. And obviously I'm making the rules here, so like...
Yeah. I feel like the trans author and trans character is more like
prominent.
Prominent than the sapphic couple.
Yeah, even though Theo doesn't have a titled chapter in this book. I don't know about the latest books because I haven't read them. But it's so prevalent to it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was one of those things of sapphic, like, I'm happy with any representation, and obviously I do read a lot of sapphic books, but I wanted something that was pushing me out of that comfort zone, which is why I wanted trans, non-binary, something like that. And yeah, I'm really glad that I picked this up, because I keep on getting lost in the world. I'm really loving this book, and I do think that this definitely fits for trans or non-sapphic LGBTQI+. But I have that much left, and I just saw the word CCTV, but I didn't see anything else. I'm hoping to finish it this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to, and then I'm gonna potentially jump onto the other ones that I picked for this. I don't know if I'm going to do that either, because
see how you feel.
I want to, but it's just very much one of those things of like, I feel like I've only read 2 books, and they're 2 chunky books this month.
Yeah.
Because we read Burial Bones.
That was very chunky.
That was very chunky, and then this one's over 400 pages. So this one's also very chunky. And I want to read something else, and I'm sat there here thinking, like, what do I want to read? But everything that I want to read, and I'm very much gravitating towards reading physically at the moment.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen very often. And I'm trying to pull away from audiobooks, because I feel like I've been using... Not saying this is a bad thing. If you need audiobooks, absolutely use them. But I feel like I myself have been using audiobooks as a crutch. So this year I've kind of seen myself gravitate towards reading physically and relearning that skill.
I definitely have been using audiobooks as a crutch, but I very much am just rolling with it at the moment. I wish I could just be like, no, you're not going to do audiobooks, you're going to do just physical. That's not going to work for me. That will put me in a slump if I force myself to.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So I'm like, do you know what? I'm just going to roll with it and enjoy the audiobooks and the immersion reading.
I think that's the thing. Like, I have, yeah, because you are immersion reading, so you're actually reading.
Not all the time.
Not all the time, but you are immersion reading a lot more than you have been.
Yeah.
But I think it's very much, I'm trying to read more, and I also kind of realising that it's okay to keep at a slower pace, like to read at a slower pace.
Yeah.
Because when I'm reading physically, I have to read at a slower pace because I don't have the audiobook going.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to kind of remember that that's why I'm not consuming, because past couple of months I've been reading a lot less than I had the first couple of months in the year. Like, I was consistently reading about 8 books a month, and now I'm reading 4, 5, maybe 2. And that's fine. And I need to remember that, because it's not the end of the world if I don't read as quickly as others. It's not a big thing. I'm trying to push back into that enjoyment of reading.
Yeah.
And not, I mean, you know, I've never been huge on reading for numbers.
Yeah.
I would love to get to 100 books one day. Like 100 books in a month. Not in a month. I would have to not sleep and have all of the audiobooks.
Even then, I don't think that'd be possible.
Picture books.
Yeah.
Graphic novels. But no, it's very much, I am going to try and push myself to read, and read for the enjoyment of it, and not just for numbers, and remember that numbers aren't worth. My worth is more than that. And all of that random crap. But yeah, I've rambled on for far too long. And hopefully I will be able to finish this whilst this one's here.
Yeah.
Hi. I'm currently at work. I'm on a little break. And I thought I'd give you an update. So I have changed my mind on some of the books that I'm going to be reading for this challenge. The over 500 page book, I just wasn't feeling the good of prayer. So I was trying to think about it, and this book has been something that I've been interested in for a little while. Sabriel has talked about this book so often, and then the second time that I heard about this book was when I was watching TikTok, and someone had said, oh, I finished part 1, I'm floored, I'm so excited to finish this series or this book. And I was like, ooh, that's interesting. I've been very, very curious about this. So that is The Raven Scholar by Antonia Hodgson. I have now finished the first part of it, and I can see where they're coming from. This book is pulling no punches. I don't know what the hell's going on just yet. But it's messed up in such a good way. I'm so excited to continue with this book and see where it goes, because like it's real good. It's quite dark. I had like my jaw dropped a few times. I'm really curious. Also, this is a gorgeous edition. Like, I'm so excited to read the rest of this, but this is like 600 pages, so it perfectly works for this challenge. And yeah, I'm only about 55 pages in, so I can't tell you too much about it. I don't really want to tell you too much about it because I don't want to spoil things, but the vibes are spectacular. It is now doing 8 years later. I don't feel like that's a bad thing to say, but it's like 8 years later and I do not know where it's going to go. The start of it felt like it was a complete switcheroo. I don't want to say anything else apart from that because I don't want to tell you what's a switcheroo. I don't want to spoil anything, but I'm so excited to finish this. I'm so excited to continue with this, which is hilarious because I just got this book in the mail. I just got catabasis or catabasis or whatever you want to call it. And I'm so excited for that one, but I want to finish this first. So I'm very, very excited. I'm hoping it continues to be as good as it is. And yeah, I'm really excited. But life's too short to read books that you're not interested in or you don't want to read. And I really wanted to read this, so I thought I would. So yeah, that is my update for today. And I will let you know how it goes. If I have any more to talk about, I will let you know. I don't think I will have anything to talk about just yet. I have a lot of D&D to play over the weekend. So yeah, I will let you know when I've read more. Good morning. It is Sunday. I will apologise for the kind of clogged up nose, and I look a little bit rough and ready. I was out at a surprise party last night and I didn't drink that much, but apparently my body is just kind of feeling a little bit blah. So we're going to be doing this. But I just kind of wanted to come on and talk about The Raven Scholar a little bit because I haven't been able to talk about this book very much. And like this week has been so busy. I forgot just how busy I was this week, and it's been a bit of a mare. But also I've been consistently reading this month so far. Like I've been trying to read at least a little bit a day, just because I'm trying to up my reading a bit, and I have managed to do that for the past 6 days. So I'm like this far into this book and I'm absolutely adoring it. Without going into too much detail, because I don't want to do too many spoilers about this, because I want Becca to read it at some point if she ever wants to. This book has everything. Everything. I am so impressed with this book. I don't know where it's going. I don't get the feeling of I don't know where this is going very often. I am one of those people who can see plot twists, who can read things and go, I kind of figured where this is going. And it happens a lot. It's quite funny because we'll talk to Becca about things and I'll go, I saw this plot twist coming from a mile off, and she was like, I didn't. We were talking about something in Burial Bones and everyone was like, oh, I thought this was going to be this. And Becca was like, yeah, I had originally as well. And I went, oh, no, I didn't. My brain works in a weird way. I don't know if it's because I did English and creative writing at uni, so my brain is kind of jazzed to plot twists. But this book is so good, and I think I'm just so riveted by what is going on that I'm not trying to actively figure out the plot twist. But so much is going on and it keeps on leaving me on cliffhangers and my jaw keeps on dropping, and I don't even think if I was to do a spoiler thing for this, I would know where to go for it. So yeah, the audiobook is incredible, I will say that. There are a few footnotes within, and the way that the audiobook does them is so funny. The characters are so incredibly interesting. I did not see anything coming. I'm so excited to finish this book, and I really hope that Illumicrate does the nice fancy special edition, because holy shit, this is so pretty. But yeah, I have this much left. I've been listening to it on 2 speed. So I think I've got like a couple of hours left, but I am 436 pages in and it's got like 630 odd. So I've got about 200 pages left, and it's such a rich world. I'm loving it so much. I'm so excited to continue on with it. And yeah, that's what I've been reading. I have not started the other thing. It's technically September, so I should pull my other thing, but that's upstairs and I can't bother to go up there. So I will potentially pull in the next one. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to pull in the next one because I will probably forget, but I will try and remember to pull another prompt, another 2 prompts for September in my next thingy. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm so excited to finish it. And yeah, I don't know if I want to read The Battle Drum. I do want to read it, but I don't know if I want to read that or if I've got other things that I want to prioritize. So it might be that I change that. But then again, I really enjoyed The Final Strife. So I'm really wanting to get back into that. So we're a bit skew with on that. But yeah, so that is my update for this. I'm not going to be doing much reading today because I have to, well, I am, but it's not going to be book reading because I have some short stories I need to read for my friends because we're going to try and do critique session this afternoon or this evening. So I need to read their stuff, review it, and go through that this evening. So I need to read that on sprints today and then hopefully get everything sorted with that. But I'm still hoping to read something. I don't know if I'm going to read that, or I do have a romance book that I'm reading at the moment because I like a physical and an audiobook, and yeah, we'll see. But that's all I've got for you today. So I will talk to you when I have another update. I don't know. How do people end clips? Clips are weird. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Hello. I read and finished The Raven Scholar on Tuesday. However, I then got severely burnt out and cried over the stupidest thing, and then was just busy, and then was busy on Wednesday, and then drove here on Thursday, and therefore have not updated you on my thoughts. Now, I'm going to say this first off. I have been trying to do spoilery clips in this. However, this one has not read it, so therefore I will not be doing a spoilery clip for this specific one. What I will say is it was a 5-star. I'm struggling to not put it as my favorite book of the year. I have 3 books at the moment, which is Silvercloak, Her Majesty's Royal Coven, and The Raven Scholar, and I genuinely don't know what's going to happen because this book was so twisty and so turny, and I saw none of it coming. I might have seen one thing coming, but even then I didn't really see it coming. The way this book was written was incredible. It had such funniness in it. It had such light in it. It had such darkness in it. Every twist and turn had my jaw dropping. It had trials. It had everything I wanted and I didn't know I needed in this book. And the ending was so good. And I need book 2 now. I'm just saying that. So yeah, I'm slightly concerned about how big book 2 is going to be because book 1 is over 600 pages long. And I will say, for a book over 600 pages long, it didn't feel like a slog to get through.
So it was really intimidating for me when the first book in a series is that big. It doesn't bother me so much when the later books are that big because you're already invested in the world. But that's just so daunting for the first book in a series, especially if you've never read from that author before.
Yeah, I will say, non-spoilery, the book is split into parts. And all of the parts, and it's more than part 1, part 2, part 3. It's more than part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. There's 8 different parts in this book. And because of that, it feels easy to manage. But I thoroughly loved this book. It was so good. I want to read it again already. Which is always a great idea. And it tells you what is a good book. Now, my next read is going to be a fantasy read, so this isn't going to count for it because this is more like lit fic with a fantastical twist, I would say.
I can't help you with that.
No. I'm reading Catabasis, which I'm thoroughly enjoying. It's so dumb. Not dumb, it's so intelligent. But it's very much like...
I'm sorry, you literally showed me the words pizza anus.
That's why I was thinking it's so dumb. But yeah, but then you go to other bits and it's saying things like, one of the things which all Tartarologists can agree is that hell prepares souls for reincarnation. And then goes into like a huge, essentially an essay, the plausibility of reincarnation on probabilistic grounds that most scholars have now come to accept.
That's too many big words for me.
It reminds me of my uni days, which is why I think I'm really enjoying it. Because like, I did enjoy writing a good essay. It's not what we're talking about. So I don't know what I want to read for fantasy. I'm thinking still The Battle Drum, but that is a chunky book. But I've done my over 500 pages. I still have yet to pull my other ones, but the other challenges I have is read a sequel you've been putting off, read a book out of your comfort zone, read a box book, read a romance you've been putting off, disability rep, book you soft DNF'd, read a Yelp book, and read a hyped book. So those are the ones that are coming in the next pull, which I should have pulled, but I haven't done that yet because I haven't had a chance to. So those are the next ones. I kind of want to finish reading a fantasy before I jump into pulling the next ones, but I just don't know what fantasy I want. So I don't know what I want to read yet. And I'm not going to lie, I think all of them are going to pale in comparison to The Raven Scholar because The Raven Scholar was so good. Is this over 500 pages long? It is. I'm not doing that. I've already said that The Raven Scholar was for a book over 500 pages long. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to read next for this vlog. I will read something this month. But yeah, I've really enjoyed doing this vlog so far because it feels as if I'm reading stuff that I wouldn't not necessarily read, but it's something that like, it's something a bit different. Like I'd been putting off reading Her Majesty's Royal Coven mainly because I was so nervous because it got so hyped. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. Once I have decided on a book, then I will let you know. But it's not the end of the world if I don't pick it straight away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it. Hi, I have just spent about 5 hours driving. I originally was planning to use the battle drum for the fantasy prompt. However, I started reading a book whilst I was driving back home, and it's so good. And I want to talk about it. This is Mistress of Lies by K.M. Enright, and I'm like 220 pages into it. And that's all from the drive. I will give a heads up, I read a good 150 pages of this previously, because of like last year, but then because of issues and mental health issues and other things that were going on, I had to take a break from the book that I was reading at the time, and I had to go, no, for the sake of mine, I need to just restart and maybe not read. And I didn't read for a while, so I had to put this on hold. But I'm reading it again and I'm really enjoying it. I think that it's really interesting because I'm so far away from reading characters and reading balls and reading like aristocracy. It doesn't interest me. I find it garish, and like Bridgerton, I have tried to watch it and I got like halfway through the first series and just didn't enjoy it. It's not for me, it's for other people, but I was just bored. So I stopped watching it. So I had been a little bit nervous to pick this up. The previous time I'd read it, I had really, really enjoyed it. And very much, it shouldn't come as a surprise, but it still does. Apparently the only way that I can enjoy this form of like socialite, like historical bullshit, is if there are like blood workers or vampires or something like that. Apologies that the camera angle has changed. My phone just completely reorientated itself. That was kind of spooky. I don't know what I was saying, like, but like I'm really enjoying it. It's really dark, it's delicious, it's scheming. There was like spy work and there's other interesting things, and I'm really enjoying this book. This book is so good. I love the kind of play on, and I mean this in the most respectful way, but when you see a book where you have someone who is, let's call it debuting. I know that that's what it's called in other things. It's usually a young woman and she like finds her way in this and the other. And this book is very much a young man finding his way, and a woman, and this is not a spoiler because it is in the content warnings and stuff like that, a trans mask character teaching him this way, and it's so juicy and there's so much drama and there's also murder going on, and I'm really enjoying it. It's so good. I'm so curious. I also really appreciate when you just have angry women characters. Like, I love that feminine rage, and this is very much given feminine rage. So I'm really enjoying this book. Now for the second thing of this, I'm going to be picking my this month's prompts. But yeah, I am, this is the book for now. The fantasy's really, really interesting. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, this is the first one. Oh, I love this. So this is Reader Disability Rep book. I don't know what I can read, but I'm excited to find out what I've got. So that was the next one, and then I'm gonna read, I'm looking on my things just in case I've got one. Oh, another great one, Read a Book Box book. Okay, now I need to figure out what disability rep book I want to read. If I've got any, that would be really, really good. I will say I'm going to, with disability rep, it's mental health as well, but I'm looking specifically for a physical disability. There is a book that I've read. If I can get an audiobook of the sequel, I might read that. It's called Borderline, and the main character has borderline personality disorder, but she also has minimum 2 prosthetics, and it is such an interesting, like, supernatural detective story. And I only have book 1, but if I can find the audiobook for book 2, I may just read that because I really enjoyed book 1. And then book box books, well, I've got many of those. This is not cheating, but it is kind of cheating, because Becca and I do a Sapphic Buddy read every month, and we specifically read a book that we enjoy and that we want to read, and that is Sapphic, obviously. And the next book that we are picking up is a book box book, and it is Hot Summer. It is downstairs. Do I want to use that? I feel like that's cheating too much. Becca is going to be on editing this, and she's going to be like, no, it's not cheating, you can use that. Like, why are you saying it like this? And I'm going to be like, yeah, I know, but I feel Like, I could read something else. I have so many books. Why do I have so many books? I also want to read something that is a bit older. Okay, specifically, the books from the book boxes that I originally first got are like kind of here and here. And I'm kind of thinking, I'm looking away from the camera, sorry. The book box books that I have from when I first started getting book boxes are kind of like this area. And I'm thinking, dangerous I know, I want to read something that's an older book because I read so many books and I've been like doing a top of all of the books that I've read and all of the book because I have like a few challenges that I set up myself at the start of the year, and one of them was I want to read more diversely in the sense of authors of colour, and I have not been doing as well as I could have. The other one was I want to read LGBTQIA plus rep, and I have smashed that. I've done 30 books and I've read 30 books, and I have read 51 books, and 30 of them have had some form of LGBTQIA plus rep in them. So like I'm really impressed with myself with that. And then another one that I'm doing is I want to read books that I acquired pre 2025. And I haven't been doing that as well as I could have. So I'm thinking I don't want to pick a big chunky book. Okay, so yes, I'm not doing Hot Summer. And I've decided to go with Jade Fire Gold. This is by June Seeley Tan. CL Tan, sorry. You can tell just how much these book boxes have stepped up their game. Like, this is beautiful, and this would have been so impressive when it came out, but like now comparatively. But so the yeah, this doesn't look too big. I believe this was in the YA Fairy Loot book box, so something a little bit less chunky. So this one says, in an empire on the brink of war, Arna is no one, with no past and no family. Atlan is a lost heir, his future stolen away as a child. When they meet, Atlan sees in Arn a path to reclaiming the throne. Arn sees a way to finally unlock her past and understand her lethal magical abilities, but they may have to pay a far deadlier price than either could have imagined. And the comp titles are Girls of Paper and Fire and A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. And I enjoyed both of those books, so I'm very, very curious. I don't think I've heard that many good things about this, or like very mid things. But I'm really excited to try something a little bit different, just to get it off my chest. Also, as per usual, like Fairy Loot do fantastic, beautiful copies. So yeah, I'm going to be reading this, and I'm going to be reading a disability rep book. I still am not entirely sure what I'm going to read for that. I know the sequel to Borderline. I don't even know where my copy of Borderline is, but I know the sequel to Borderline will work if I can't find anything. I also have Kindle Unlimited, so I can go and have a look at things like that. I don't know if I've got anything. And also just shows just how much we should have more disability rep. Because, like, yeah. But yeah, I'm going to have a look, see if I can find anything with disability rep in. And I will come back to it. I know that there's a few on Kindle Unlimited that I could potentially use. I'm going to hit up the likes of Andy and Tori and the group chat, because I know that they're really good at books like that, and yeah, I might as well. But yeah, so that's the next 2 prompts picked. Hi. So I have finished Mistress of Lies. I haven't really gotten many notes for you guys because I just kind of forgot and got distracted, and it's been a really, really busy couple of weeks. So I have just kind of been going with the flow, but I finished Mistress of Lies, which I had chosen for my read a fantasy book, and I really enjoyed this. I give it 4 stars. I didn't love this as much as I've been loving other books lately, but I have really, really enjoyed it. Just to kind of explain a little bit, I think that most of this was really, really good. I think for a gothic, sapphic-esque transmasque, I'm counting it as sapphic, as a gothic story with ballrooms and all of that, it was really, really good. I really enjoyed the magic system. It's a new take on vampiric style things, and it's just really, really good. I've looked at some reviews and I've seen that a lot of people don't like the characters. No one, they're like, oh, I don't really care. I can kind of see that, but I really enjoyed it. I don't think there was something missing from it. I will say I think my favorite character is Isaac. I think Isaac is my favorite. But I do think there was something missing from this book, that I'm hoping is in book 2. I do have book 2, so I'm really excited to get into that. Probably not for a while though. But book 1 I really, really did enjoy. I think it was a really, really decent book. Also this copy is just stunning. So pretty. It is so pretty. But yeah, so I have finished that. So my next 2 prompts are read a book box book and read a, what was it? Disability wrap. And I'm still kind of struggling on the disability wrap one. And I think I decided to do Jade Fire Gold, which I have not started. I did start it. I've read like 10 pages, so I don't really count it as started. It's over there. That's where it is. But yeah, so I have technically started both of those books. And yeah, I need to figure out a book with disability wrap. I think I have decided on a couple of things, but there is a few. Yeah, I think I'm going to pick the sequel to Borderline, which is Phantom Pains. It is on Everand, so I'm thinking of doing that. And then I've got Jade Fire Gold for the next one. So yeah, I'm slowly getting through it. Yeah, I don't really want to talk too much about Mistress of Lies because it's one that I think I've explained stuff to Becca, and she was like, oh, I think I need to read this. But I think where a lot of people were saying that the story was flimsy and the characters were boring, but I think the atmosphere was great. The atmosphere was really good. And I don't think the characters were boring. I just think that they were missing something. I think specifically there was a lot that they were doing. And I think it's a difficult world to blend. And you have 2 outsiders, so that's always a bit difficult. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. But I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was a really, really decent book. I did. I enjoyed what I liked of it. I will admit that my jaw dropped and I was surprised by some of it. So that's always good. But yeah, I now just need to kind of continue with the others and see what we're going to go from there. But I will let you know what I decide on. Hi guys. I'm here to talk about Jade Fire Gold. Apologies for the look. I have not washed my hair in a couple of days and it's real grim. And I was going to do it today, but then I'm going to the cinema later on. So I was like, oh, I'll wait. Also, if I sound stuffy, I'm not ill. I've just had a spicy pizza. Also, I'm just going to rant about this for a second. So I bought a Domino's pizza. It's the paneer pizza that they've got at the moment, which is spicy, has jalapenos on it. And we got it when I was down Becca's, and it wasn't spicy, and well, it was slightly spicy but not very spicy at all, and I was like, oh, this is really nice. Like, I really enjoyed it. I would get that again, and I got it again, and it's really spicy. So I don't know if it's like the different jalapenos or if it's something slightly different, but it's real spicy. It's still delicious, but it was real spicy, and I just didn't expect that. So I'm like, whew. So that's going to last me for a couple of days because I can only eat a couple of slices. Not that it's really spicy. It's just like more than I was expecting. And like, I'm going out, so I don't want to eat like loads of pizza. Anyway, I'm rambling about pizza, and that's not what you came here for. You came here for me to talk about the book. Okay, so this was originally going to be a BookBox book. And because the prompts that I picked was BookBox book or a disability rep. I couldn't say the word disability rep. And originally I was going to do it as BookBox book. However, one of the main characters is partially blind. Therefore, he literally doesn't have an eye. And so therefore I am going to be using this as the disability rep just because it kind of just fell into my lap. I was like, I want to read this. I want to like read this book. Let's read it. And then I started reading it and I was like, oh, one of them is disabled. Fantastic. That worked perfectly for me. So yeah. The next thing is I am like real far into this book. And I can't tell you much about it because it's this is going to sound really bad. It's quite forgettable. No, it's not forgettable. So I think the issue I've got with this is I'm not finding that I'm invested. And I feel as if the reason I'm not invested is because I don't feel as if the author has done what I would assume you would do to build up the relationships for the characters. So you have our main... Oh, I'm gonna have to do spoilers. Sorry. Hand goes up because this is a spoiler thing. I'll say my non-spoiler thoughts first and then we'll go into spoilers. I feel as if all of the connections within this book, apart from maybe 2, are all done off page. And because of that, anything that happens in this book doesn't feel earned. I just feel as if a lot of it is blah, and I don't care. It got to the point where I had to listen to the audiobook because it just wasn't working for me. So I'm now going to talk spoilers because I'm going to go into more depth about this. When the hand goes down, the spoilers will stop. So the main characters, one of the male main characters' mentor dies. And he was only in it for like a chapter or 2 before he died. And it was this big, real emotional scene for Alton. And you just sit there and you go, but you've not shown me how much you care for this guy. You're just telling me that he was being your mentor. And then to kind of counteract that, it's shoehorned in that like, maybe I should have cared about this guy because he was basically my father. Yeah, maybe you should have. And maybe you should have shown that. Like, you get a flashback as the guy dies. And you get a conversation or 2 where the guy looks concerned for Alton. And then that's about it. And I just... it feels so surface level for the characters. And there's some beautiful moments in this. Like, Anne and her grandmother, their relationship seems really cute. Alton and his friend, that seems really cute. But even then, I'm currently at a point where his friend is injured, and I'm just sat there like, okay, yeah, okay, like she could die. Yeah, what? I feel as if there is so much interesting things that could have happened in this book, and the magic of the lifesteal is really, really interesting. You've got this weird priest who's just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna help you, and then he does help her, but then he doesn't. He just disappears for half the book. I'm like, where the fuck are you? Where the fuck are you? Yeah, so I'm not vibing with this as much as I would like to be vibing with this. I listened to a good chunk of it on audiobook because I just could not force myself to read this. And I've now run out of audiobook hours, so I'm just gonna have to like get on with it or wait until, because I listen to it on Spotify. And I ran out of audiobook hours, so I'm either gonna have to pay for audiobook hours, which I refuse to do, try and find it on somewhere else, which I don't think there is another option for this, so I'm not gonna. I'm gonna try a Vrand just in case. Or soldier through the last bit, because there's no point in me not reading the rest of it. But I genuinely think this is going to be like a 3-star, because it's fine. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with the book. It's just boring. So there's that. And then I have to find an alternative book, which I don't know what I want to read. Like, I have so many books, and I'm looking at some of them, and I know I've got loads everywhere, and I'm just like, I don't know what I want to read, because there's been books that I've gone instantly, I was like, I'm quite interested in those, and the other books that I've just kind of gone, I'm not interested in that. And then when I read it, like The Raven Scholar, incredible book. So I'm trying to figure out what I want to read, and I want to read one of my older editions, just because I feel as if I'm getting new ones in. And yeah, I also, this is gonna sound real petty, and I'm really sorry that it's gonna sound real petty, but there's a lot of discourse online at the moment because Illumicrate have changed their skip policy, and a lot of people are annoyed that it's going from 10 skips to 6 skips. I'm sorry, if you're skipping 10 books in a year, why are you subscribed? I understand that you might not like all of the picks, but like, it just feels weird. And then a lot of concerns have been like, oh, well, if you didn't pick all the queer books, sorry, stop giving me, like, give me more queer books. Because there are not that many queer books in the Illumicrate picks. Not as many as you're saying there are. And we already get so few queer books. If you want, like, straight stuff, go to Fairy Loot. There are so many books that are straight romances. If you're that bothered, go and pick another book subscription box, because like Illumicrate, whilst like they have done some things in the past that I do not agree with, and I will hold my hands up and say that, the amount of queer fantasy that I have found from Illumicrate that I love is really good. You've got like, so Mistress of Lies was incredible. The Last Soul Between Worlds, or The Last Hour Between Worlds, sorry, the second one's The Last Soul Between something or other, Wolves or something like that. You have all of these queer books, and it's not as if they have like a million. And it just annoys me that, like, once again, the queer representation is kind of being like, oh, well, it's not good enough. Like, it's a sign of the times, because like, people are getting bold, and we know that there's a lot of issues with people and queerness and all of that. And I'm not going to go into it, because I will start a big old rant about how like fascism is on the rise and it's crap. But we will continue to read other things instead. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna pick. I might just, like, I could pick a continuation, but I kind of want to read something new, and then I need to figure out what I want to pick. So that's a later time thing, but I'm going to try and finish this. I have like a couple of minutes before I need to head to the cinema because I'm going to go see the re-release in Hamilton in the cinema, and I booked a ticket for it because why not? So I'm gonna go and see that. And I think I'm gonna go and want popcorn because popcorn's great. So I'm thinking of getting a popcorn combo in. It's also payday, so why not? But I wanted to kind of jump on and say, hey, like I am still reading this, because it is now the 26th of September. Realistically, I want to finish this book, and I would like to finish another book. I don't have any other books on at the moment, but I would like to finish another book because I just feel as if I'm trying to get back into that reading thing. And yeah, that would be ideal. That would be ideal. Whether or not that happens is another matter. Yeah, I'm really struggling to find a book that I want to read for the book box, because I was like, oh, I'll just read Jade Fire Gold for that, and then it turns out that it was great for a different prompt, and I was like, oh, I'll pick that for that then. So I might pick something else. I don't know. I think I'm very much gonna have to like figure out what I'm vibing with, because I might not vibe with something that I want to vibe with. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm talking. I'm just rambling at this point. But we will see how it goes, and I will talk to you guys when I have either finished Jade Fire Gold, which will hopefully be tomorrow. And then I might pick another book. I might also, I've got my Limerick and my Afterlight coming tomorrow, so it feels apt that whilst I'm doing the book box prompt, that I should open my book boxes. So I might do that. But yeah, we'll see where this goes. Hi, it is now Saturday. It is the following day. I spoke about this book yesterday before I went to the cinema. By the way, I walked out of the cinema because people have no decency, and half of the cinema was screaming it. It was not a sing-along version of Hamilton. It was just a normal version of Hamilton. So I walked out because I'm not about that life. Yeah. Won't go into too much detail, but I was not impressed. And I walked out at the intermission. So I finished Act 1 and then left because no. I was getting angry, and I was like, I'd rather just be at home. So yeah. But I have finished Jade Fire Gold, and this was a 2-star. Now, I think the premise of this was really good. I think this could have been spectacular if there was a little bit more detail. I also think that the end was rushed. It felt very much like there was this middle plot that just kind of wasn't done as well as I would have expected. I genuinely think this could have been really, really good, but I didn't love it. It felt very surface level for the characters. I felt as if there wasn't enough to like bring them together, and I didn't care. And I think that's the worst thing you can have. I was going to give it a 3-star, but the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, this was, let's be very, very honest, this was a 2-star read. So 2 stars for this. And now we are on to the next one, which is read a book box book. I don't know what to read, so I'm still trying to figure that out. But I wanted to give you my basic thoughts on Jade Fire Gold before I try to figure that out. So I'm going to go and read some and check things, and hopefully I will have the next book I want to read by the time my book boxes come, and then I will open those on camera as well. But yeah, I'm really hoping that the next book is better, because I've read two 2-star books in a row, and that ain't great for me. They're the first 2-star books I've read this year, which is not great, but I'm gonna try and figure out what I want to read. I really need to figure that out. So yeah, I'm gonna go because I'm just rambling at this point and I don't want to ramble. Hello. I'm not going to tell you what I've picked. I have picked a book. However, I have only gotten one of my parcels and I don't know where the other one is. So I'm going to wait until the other one comes so that I can film it again. But my big Illumicrate box is here. So we're going to open it. It is called Night Call. I already know what this book is. It's one of the only books that I know. I very rarely know what the... Ooh. I rarely know what the Illumicrate books are. So we have a Lioness Rampant cosmetic bag. I love a cosmetic bag. I need more because my things are not... Like, I need a bigger bag. Oh, this is a nice sized bag as well. Look at that. That is cute. Oh, and it's got a place for your brushes, like built in. That is cute. I really like that. I really like that. Especially because I move up and down the, like I go up and down with like going to Becca's. That would work. The next one is an Excalibur sword replica based on Legend Motorcycle by Tracy Dion. That is a gorgeous one. I know my friend Laura is going to want to steal this. It has writing on it. It says, "Take me up, cast me away." That's really cool. My friend Laura, all of my swords are up there, my replica swords. She found them one day and was like, "I'm going to stop everything." So I know who's going to want this. This is really cute and like also not glittery because like there are some that we got that are very glittery and they aren't great, but it came in a nice little bag, which I love. What the heck is this? Bookshelf bunting. This is real cute. It gets tangled very easily. I did not love, because this is from Rachel Gillick, I didn't love her One Dark Window book. But I'm certainly tempted to try The Night and the Moth because I've got like different vibes to begin with, so I'm very tempted. And then we have this book. Now I've been spoiled on what this book looks like because someone pointed out that it looks a lot like the Treachery of Swans book, and they were saying that they wanted Illumicrate to stop doing this, so I'm not gonna look. I don't know what they were talking about. Like, I get it, kind of, but like, no. The edges are pretty. Oh, this is going to be my vibe. Oh, this is going to be my vibe. This is going to be my vibe. This is going to be my vibe. I'm going to enjoy this book. Stop it. Stop it. Are you... That is a gorgeous, gorgeous... And the back, oh my god, like, I'm sorry. I don't know, like, someone on TikTok said, oh, it's, like, very reminiscent of, the Treachery of Swans, and I don't think it is personally. I mean, you do you. I guess I kind of see it from, like, the front cover, but, like, the rest of it, this is a gorgeous book. I can't wait to read this. I read, The Devil Makes Three by Tori Bovalino. This is this is the pen name for the fantasy. I also have her other book that I really want to read, but I've heard some really, really good things about this. I've seen the hype about this. I'm very excited to read this. Yeah, I think that's a successful book. I really enjoyed that. I think this is cute. I do wish we had some more useful items because, you know, but yeah, I enjoy this box. I think it's a decent box. But I'm gonna go and read my next book whilst I wait for my other book box. Someone has been hoovering or blowing up tires or something for like ages this morning, and it's like really giving me a headache, which is not ideal. But I'm gonna go and sit and relax. I do have the cinema book tonight. I might sack it off because I really can't be bothered. I might sack it off. I don't know. Gotta figure it out. Yeah, not sure. But I will talk to you soon. It is not long after it. I opened my last one. I got my Afterlight box. I don't understand why my local post office does this, but most times when I get, my lips are slightly blue, that's not good. Most times when I get an Afterlight and an Illumicrate box, they come from the same company, so I'm assuming they come from a similar warehouse, and yet they always get sent to 2 different post offices in and around my area, so I have to wait for 2 parcels coming. It would make sense to me to just have them both from the same place, but apparently that's not the case. So this one is how you get the girl. I do know what the Afterlights are. I tend to find these out because sometimes I don't want them. This is what it looks like. It's a little bit bent, but those are the edges. Oh, it's the sapphic one. We have a very, very cute thing there. And we have, oh, that's quite dark and gloomy comparatively to the rest of the thing. And so is that. That's real weird. I expected fun. I'm hoping this is better. I believe this one is sapphic, yeah. So I'm excited for this. I'm hoping it's better than the last sapphic Afterlight that I read, because I did not enjoy that. I DNF'd it after a couple of pages. We got this. So yeah, that is the Afterlight book that I have got. And we're now going to talk about the book that I have decided to read. So I decided to pick up Heavenly Bodies by Imani Eriu. This is a fairy loot one. I'm going to be honest, I'm going into it quite blind, but the reason that I kind of wanted to read it was because I've heard Becca in the Books talk about this book quite a lot, and I just was like, hey, why not try it? So that is my next read. Not right now. I have a bit of a headache, so I think I'm going to lie down and scroll on TikTok for a bit. I don't think I'm going to go to the cinema at night. I really don't feel up to it. I feel really shitty, so I think I'm just going to go and have like a nice hot bath and try and relax. But I'm going to go and read my book, and I will talk to you when I've got more ideas. I've read like a sentence and then realized that I was headachy, and I went, let's not do this. So for now, I'm just going to go up and try and ease the headache. Hi. Yep, we're keeping that in. I decided to read Heavenly Bodies. This is the stunning naked cover by Fairy Loot. I picked this up on a whim, thinking, oh, I might like it. It might be okay. I started it yesterday. I ended up getting the audiobook because it was just one of those things. If I was like, I'm really enjoying this, but I would like to immersion read it. I picked the audiobook up and I finished it within 24 hours, more or less. This book was incredible. This has made me cry about 5 times. This is a 5 stars, definitely. And quite frankly, this is like best book of the year. Best book of the year. I don't want to go into it just in case Becca has not read it. because at some point I would like her to read this. This gave me all of the emotion and the perfect tension that Air of Fire gave me. I don't know what to say. This book just fed my soul in the best possible way. I immediately want to pick it back up and read it. It's so good. It's so beautifully done. I don't even know what to say. This book was just absolutely incredible. It had everything I wanted from it, and it was just done so well and so beautifully. And the end was so good. The reveals were so good. Everything kept me desperate to find out what happened next, reeling from things that I didn't expect to understand, and it was just so good. I was so invested in this book that I wasn't trying to... my brain does the thing where if I'm reading a book, I will automatically put things together and go, well, this is what this is going to be, and this is what this is going to be. And when I'm invested in a book so much that switches off, I know it's a good book. And that's what happened with this book. I didn't need to know what was going to happen. My brain didn't want to know what was going to happen. So I wasn't thinking about what the next thing could be. And I'm so incredibly lucky to have picked this up, because the sequel goes on sale on very, very soon. I think it happens next month, at the end of the month. But the fact that I devoured this book in 2 days, and it's not like an unsubstantial book. It is like 500 pages long. It was so good. It was so good. Yeah. I'm really hoping book 2 lives up to how good book 1 was, because this was just such a good book. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I literally sobbed as I finished the book, so I'm like feeling very emotional right now. And for once, I don't know what I'm going to go into in this vlog, because the last time that I picked was for this month, so the next books that I'm going to be reading is for next month, but we're on the 28th, so we still have a couple of days left of the month, which means that I'm actually up to date with this vlog, which is insane. I think this book is going to sit with me for a long time, and I genuinely think this is like straight to the top of like my all-time favorites. I do think it's a beautiful romantasy, and this is exactly what I wanted from a romantasy. And specifically in romantasy settings, I've been really struggling to find something that was just the perfect romantasy book for me, and this had everything I wanted. So I'm so thankful that I was able to read this. Hopefully this rekindles my love of romantasy. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world. But I need to go and just like sit and try not to cry again, because it was so good. It was so good. Jesus, I don't know what else to say or do, but it's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna go and try and calm down. Hello. I've not had a great day, so we are going to be doing this now, because it is October tomorrow. First prompt is, read a romance you've been putting off. Okay. And then the second one is, Read a sequel you've been putting off. Okay, I'm not going to pick the books now because it's almost Bake Off time, and if I'm being perfectly honest, I don't feel like it right now, so I'm not going to do that. But I will have a look and see what I've got, and then I will come back to you guys. Hi. So, a bit of an update for this vlog. I very quickly realised that I didn't read the books in October. It is now November. I did not read the books I was supposed to in October. And when I realised this, I was like, oh, I've got 6 prompts left. I'm not pulling 2 more prompts. So I'm just going to do the 6 in the next 6 weeks-ish. So the prompts we have are... Also, there is a reason why I look a little bit weird and goofy and why she's in a very different vibe than usual, and we'll go into that in a bit. Read a sequel you've been putting off. Read a book out of your comfort zone. Read a romance you've been putting off. Read a book you've soft DNF'd. Read a Yalk book. And read a hyped book. So, it's Yalk weekend.
Hence.
We are cosplaying. To no one's surprise, we're doing a Critical Role cosplay. But actually, kind of loving the vibes, not gonna lie.
Not for me. This isn't my vibe.
No. But
for the cosplay, I'll do it.
Yeah. So we went, and I was like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for any of the Yalk books I've got at the moment. Which is really bad, because the entire reason that I put this prompt, this challenge, was so that I would read books from my backlist, books that I've had on my thing for ages, yada yada yada. And what I'm doing instead is I'm going to absolutely mangle this, and I'm going to pick a book that I've just bought. You've
still bought it at Yalk.
I bought it at Yalk.
You didn't specify
I
what
didn't
year.
specify. I know. I said this to you.
Yeah.
I'm not...
I'm just making it very clear.
You're preaching to the choir, love. So the book I'm going to be reading is in that bag there. It is The Guardians of Dreammark. Or Dreamdark, sorry. I'm very excited for this. It is a Lani Taylor book. I do have it signed. Lani Taylor is one of my favourite authors. I have been wanting to reread Strange the Dreamer for a good little while. So when I knew that Lani Taylor was going to be there, and that I was going to go and meet her again, sorry to rub that in, I was like, I need to go and buy this book. So I bought this book for full price, and it's stunning. It's very Strange the Dreamer-esque. I love Lani Taylor's writing. I'm really, really hoping it's going to be as good as I expected it to be. And yeah, there were other books that I got signed, and there's other books that I bought at Yalk. However,
that's the one.
I think this is the one. And this is the one that I'm kind of like, actually, I could drop anything and everything and read this now. Which I'm kind of in a bit of a slumpy mood at the moment. I do think that's probably due to the Trick or Treat vlog.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Trick or Treat vlog was so much fun, and it came out really, really well.
It did.
But I think it kind of, especially pushing myself to read an almost 900-page book, was a silly thing. I was a silly goose. So I'm gonna read this, I think, and if not, it's fine as well. I feel like I should say as well, if I'm really not feeling the vibes of reading, I'm just not gonna read.
Yeah. This like 12 prompts. This 12 prompts is supposed to just like help you like pick a book to read and be something fun. But if like you're not in the mood to read, there's no point forcing yourself, because that's not going to be fun.
No. So I'm
self-care.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna kind of like play it by ear, and we're gonna do what we're gonna do. But for now, what we are gonna do is we are gonna sit and we are gonna watch a certain episode of Critical Role. We're still filming, Vivi. It's okay. You got excited.
I got distracted.
Surprising no one. I've got pens as well.
No, so I didn't tell my mum that.
So we are going to watch an episode of Critical Role. It is a live show. I'm very, very excited. I'm going to take all of this junk off my face. I'm going to get into my pajamas. And I'm going to stop being fun scary. And I'm going to start being normal scary. Anyway. We had a really good time at Yalk. It was really busy.
It was a nice chill day. And you got to meet Jenna Coleman and Pearl Mackie.
I got to meet Jenna Coleman, Pearl Mackie.
As did I.
Juno Dawson, Jay McGuinness. Lots of Jays. Jenna, Juno and Jay. And then Lanny Hill. Tomorrow, you want to meet Laura Stephen. You want to meet
Amy McCall. And then you want to meet
Bill Wood. And then if there's any others.
We also got some art from Alice Illustrates and another artist whose name I can't remember.
Mickman. I'm not going to show it because it's a bit NSFW. But yeah, we are going to go now. And I might update you this weekend. I probably won't. Hi. It is day 2 of Yalk. Or end of. Pretty successful, if I do say so myself. I'm going to go through some of the things I got. I'm not going to go through everything. I did, for this vlog, the point was to read a Yalk book. No, I read a paragraph and then I just kind of gave up on it. But already from the paragraph, I know I'm going to love this book. Because it's Lanny Taylor. I'm so excited. But yeah, so we did a lot today. There was a lot of walking, there was a lot of photos, so you had 2 photo shoots. I ended up seeing 1. Went to see 2 yesterday. Bought lots of things. Bought lots of candles. But yeah, I don't know if I went through the candles yesterday, so Edit and Becca, if I did, you can cut this one out. But I bought some candles yesterday and I need to talk about them. They've announced, so this is Luna Bookish Flame. Which I had seen prior to Yalk last year, and I really wanted to buy candles last year, so I bought some and they were incredible. And so this year, when they were like, we're bringing out new candles, and they put a hint that looked like Stranger Things, I was like, if they have Stranger Things candles, I need to buy them because we bonded at Yalk over Stranger Things.
We did.
They did indeed have Stranger Things candles, so I bought an Eddie and a Steve.
Which, of all the characters, they had 3 characters, and of all the characters, it's the 2 that we bonded over.
It was fit. It was fit. Manus is incredible. He's so sweet. He remembered me from last year. He also remembered Becca's candle order from
the launch of the Ali Hazelwood.
Yeah, because she was the only person who bought 6 instead of 7. Who of those who bought like all of them. He made us buy more candles. He didn't make us buy more candles. We went over to have a look. He
encouraged the way a small business owner encourages.
And
they
genuinely, and then at the end of the day, he came over and he was like, I hope you've had a lovely day. Thank you so much for supporting. Yeah. Like, it's so sweet. And yeah, so we got King Steve, which is bergamot, ginger, pink pepper, saffron, cinnamon, nutmeg, oud, jasmine, not going to try and say that one.
Yeah, I didn't attempt
patchouli, sandalwood, amber and vanilla. And then this one is cherry, saffron, osmanthus, apricot, olive, leather, smoke, smouldering woods and amber, which is very, very Eddie.
Yeah.
And it does have a really nice, like, cherry with an undertone of, like...
Yeah.
Other things, which is really, really nice. Now we need to figure out how we're going to separate the boys.
Like, I feel like I'm Steve, she's Eddie, but do we do our own one or do we do the other? I feel like I kind of want Steve.
Oh, thank God, because I really wanted Eddie. There we go. We separated the boys. We did get some more. Today I got 2 of the... I don't know where they are. They're over there.
They're all the way over there.
I got a Terracin one. And I got a...
You got the House of Terracin?
House of Terracin or something like that. And then I got the Aelin candle, which I got last year, because...
And burnt it to death.
Yeah, it's beautiful, stunning. Speaking of Aelin, I also got some dust jackets. Look at how gorgeous they are.
Not sparkle, shine.
Thank you. That was fine. They are gorgeous. It was £15 for half a set. There was another set going on sale at the end of this month at some point. I will be buying those as well. So I've got a full set, but they were gorgeous, stunning. Whoever does the artwork is incredible.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna show you something.
You did show that you spoke about it yesterday.
I spoke about this yesterday. What else? I got a new bag.
It's so Lordna coded. So it's perfect.
This is a tote bag.
It's the 3 fates. You can see it's the 3 fates.
Yeah.
But it's, if you're a Kruger fan, it's Lordna coded.
So it's this. It's got a gorgeous crossbody strap that is removable, which I think is always a good detail. It zips up.
You don't get many tote bags that zip up.
It has a pocket.
It has pockets.
And it has another pouch on the back. And I needed a new bag. And it was only £25.
Yeah, which I think is a really good price. And it's quite a good material as well.
Really nice bag.
But yeah.
Yeah, we got lots of... Do you want to show your...
We went to Alice Illustrates and I got the Vaxlith print, which means I now have all of her Critical Role art that she does, I think.
It was a lot of, let's get Critical Role stuff, let's do this.
And also Alice is so lovely.
She's so nice.
Even if I'm not going to buy anything, I will always go say hi to her because she's so lovely. But I always end up buying something.
Yeah, and I always want to support her.
Yeah.
I'm really excited because we might see her. We're probably not going to, but if we get to see her at the
live show next
year, like, I'm so excited. And if not, she knows my plans for next year.
Yeah.
So if
we've spoken on Instagram before, so
go. Well, I was going to say if
I'll message her.
If we're at MCM,
yeah,
I'm gonna have to go and be like, look, I did it. But yeah, so we got that. We got some presents. I can't show those. I probably could because this is probably going to go out after the fact. But I don't want to. Yeah, so I'm going home with a lot of stuff. And
at least you drive and haven't got to get the train.
But I've genuinely had a really, really nice time. There's been a few hiccups. Both of us got a little bit upset earlier today, and I'm not going to go into it because if you want to see that, why Becca got upset, go on thing. Mine was just because a book was sold out, and I'm a sad git.
It was also very overwhelming and loud at that point of the day.
Yeah. But we've had a lovely time, and I will be finishing the Lanny Taylor book, and if I don't, I will probably go on to Let's Split Up or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, and I will come back when I've read some. Hi guys. First off, apologies, I'm quite skew-whiffed today. Also, you might be able to tell by my voice, I have been a bit croaky. I'm not 100% okay right now. It's just a cold. It's the very back end of the cold. This time last week I sounded horrendous and I felt horrendous. Now it's just like the back end of a sore throat, which is great. But last time I checked in, I had plans, and those plans have now changed. So I came to you in the middle of November with an idea and plans for what I was going to read for the end of this vlog, and I was in the middle of quite a severe reading slump, and I didn't realise how severe it was, but I have not wanted to pick up a book for the entire month, and it was just one of those things that, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, I'm not vibing with this, I don't want to do it, so I decided to just kind of stop reading. I read I finished 2 books in November, but I've read 1 book in its entirety the very end of November, and it was a reread. So yeah, but I have 6 prompts, and I have decided I'm going to do a bit of cheating, and I'm going to double up for some of these prompts. So the first one I am reading is a hyped book and a book that's out of my comfort zone, and what I'm reading for this is Dungeon Crawler Call. Now, I've been really interested in this book for a while, but I've been very, very hesitant because the hype is so big, And also there was something that I read online, either on TikTok or on a review or something, of someone's opinion on something that happened in it. And when I read that, I was like, "Oh, that doesn't sound very good." And it's put me off for a while. But I decided to continue and to read it, and so I have started to read Dungeon Crawl Call. I'm about 17 chapters in, and it's okay. I don't think it's anything great. I can see why people enjoy it, but there's a few things that have happened, and one of the things was was told about. When I say told about, I read about this scene with a Latinx character and how someone didn't appreciate how what was happening with this Latinx character. And that was all I knew. And then I got to that scene and I was so uncomfortable reading that scene. It was so bad. And there's just been a few things that I don't love about this book. I'm going to keep on going because I want to see where it goes, and there's a few things that are interesting, but I'm never a lit RPG type girl. I do find quite a lot of them cringy. There's some nods that I like, and there's a few things in it, like there's mentions of magic missile, and I'm like, this is really interesting, this should be up my street, and it just kind of has fallen a bit flat for me, which is unfortunate. But I'm reading that for two of the prompts. Another one I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doubling up on a book that I have been putting off, a romance I've been putting off, and a sequel I've been putting off. And I'm going to be reading Mate by Ali Hazelwood. Now you may be thinking, actually that book came out not very long ago. How have you been putting it off? I started it and then went into reading something and literally went, I can't read this right now because I'm not going to enjoy it, so I'm going to put it off. So I'm classing it. It's my thing, my rules. So that's another one. And then the other two, there's the Yalk book, which I had said in my last update that I was going to read the Lani Taylor book. Now I'm not going to because I don't know if I'm ready to read from a favourite author, and I'm worried that I'm not going to like it. So I don't want to put that on the table. But I did pick up Let's Split Up by Bill Wood, and that is a young adult horror that I think I could get through in like minutes. Not minutes, but like a couple of hours. So I want to read that because I'm really excited for that book. And then there is a book that you soft DNF'd. Now this one, again, I'm probably cheating and people are probably going to be like, this is a stretch. But me and Becca started reading A Treachery of Swans last week. And I had to stop because I was so ill. I was like, I am not going to enjoy this book. I could tell. And I genuinely think Treachery of Swans is such a me book. It seems quite lyrical. It seems quite fun. It seems like just that kind of stretch into a performative type of thing that I enjoy. But because I was really not feeling well, I just knew I was not going to be sat there and taking it in as I would like to. So that's going to be my last pick. So I'm reading a total of 4 books, and I'm hoping that's going to be enough to push me to read and finish by the end of December, because I would like to finish this challenge. This challenge has been quite interesting to come up with, and I'm a little bit disappointed in myself to kind of almost fall at the last hurdle. And I do appreciate that, like, reading slumps are a thing that happen, and like, I'm not very well and there's just a few things that can happen, and November is always one of those months where I'm really, really busy, and I know that. So like, I'm very, very much like giving myself a bit of the benefit of the doubt. And these are subject to change. If I decide that, like, actually I've got loads of spoons, I want to read this book, but a lot of the sequels that I need to read are big epic fantasy books, and I don't think I want to read them right now, if that makes sense. So it's very much just trying to like pick something that I would like to read that's going to be good for this winding down part of the year. Obviously, it's December. I'm stupidly busy. It's my anniversary. It's Christmas. I have so much going on. So like, I'm driving down to Becca's. We're planning to spend time together at the weekend. Then next week I have D&D. I have a writing session with some friends. I have like, I don't even remember what I've got. I've got like a meal on Saturday. I'm at a drag show on Saturday. I'm at karaoke on Sunday. I have another meal the week after. I've got this and the other. Like it's Christmas. It's one of those times where you're just busy, and that's fine. But it's a lot of work and it's a lot of like commitment. And I'm very excited because I have like sometimes where I know I'm going to be real busy, but I also know that there's sometimes where I'm not going to be as busy. So I'm gonna try and like get everything sorted, but you know, it is what it is. I'm now just kind of rambling. So yeah, I have a medium plan in the sense of like I've picked books that I think are going to be quite quick to read, quite easy to read, and quite fun to read. But because I'm a mood reader, I'm not going to say that those are all going to stay the same. I may change it to something else. I might decide, oh, actually, I really fancy reading this book or that book or whatever book. And I will do that if I want to. But yeah, that's kind of the vibe we're going for at the moment. And hopefully soon I will not be as croaky as I am now. But yeah, it's been really nice to kind of jump back into reading, especially thinking that I was going to be like stuck in that kind of headspace where I wasn't going to be reading, because I was quite concerned for a little while that like I wasn't going to be able to read as much. I'm not going to hit the goal. I've consistently hit the goal of reading about 80 books for like 3 years running, and there's no way in hell unless I read a bunch of like graphic novels, which I don't have. There's no way I'm gonna hit that, which I'm really disappointed at because it was a really nice goal to have. So I think I'm gonna try and aim for 70. And maybe like 75 at a push, but that's gonna be like a push because I think I'm only at like 65, 66 books. But we'll see. We'll see where this goes. But yeah, I'm just kind of rambling for a bit. This has been a very long update. But yeah, I will talk to you guys when I've read some more of Dungeon Crawl Call. I don't want to go into too much detail about this because I don't want to put people off reading Dungeon Crawler Call. But yeah, there are certain things in that book where I'm sat there and I'm like, I don't think that this is the best way you could have done something. Personal opinion. I'm gonna try and continue with it because I do want to read it. I think it's one that I like. You hear so much about it, so I might as well continue to see what it's like. But we will see. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys in a bit, and I'll probably not be as comfy and as like casual. I do apologize. I don't know why I'm sat like this. But yeah. Hi guys, I have a book to talk about today. I finished it a couple of days ago, however, after driving home from Becca's and then finishing work yesterday, and I had a couple of things I had to do, work, like non-work wise, but by the time I finished it all, I was like, I do not have the time or the energy to do this, so I'm doing a very quick vlog update whilst my food is cooking and I have a bath running, and then I've got D&D to run tonight. But I finished Dungeon Crawler Call. Now, I quite enjoyed this. There was a lot of things about this book that I really enjoyed. What I did not enjoy was the there was a scene within it that I had seen online people talk about that it was a bit weird, and like there was some claims to like, is this racist, is this not? And I'd only seen like one person say it, so I was like, I'm just gonna have a go nosy, and it left me feeling really uncomfortable. This scene really left me uncomfortable. And then as I got through the book, and I'm not disregarding it, and I'm not saying that it is okay, but it came quite clear that what he was doing was he was taking stereotypes and making them to the extreme. I didn't like it. I don't think it was needed. And it really coloured what I thought about the book. So I'm giving it a 3 stars. I enjoyed it. I'm going to go and do some research to see what people are saying, what people are doing about this book. And if more people are like, no, I don't think it's racist, I might continue on with it. I might not. I don't know. But I did that. So now I'm going to start on Let's Split Up. I wanted to start on something else, but I just don't have the time or energy. And the other books I have are Treachery of Swans and Mate. And I'm not vibing with Mate. I keep on saying I'm not vibing with Mate, but I'm not vibing with it. I just think this is going to be a quicker, easier read, and I have spent a lot of time doing D&D prep, and then I just need to like have something a little bit easier to read, and I think that a YA horror is probably the best. So I'm gonna read Let's Split Up. This book, I don't know what it's about. I've seen it all over. It looks cute, and it's also a YA horror, and I do like a YA horror, so I'm gonna read that. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go have a bath, read probably about 50 pages, probably not much at all. I did get it signed at Yalk, hence why it's a Yalk book. And I'm gonna read this so that I can relax and chill before I have D&D. So I have this and then 2 other books to read, and I was hoping to get them done this week, but I also have a buddy read with Becca, so I don't know if that's going to happen because we're reading our Sapphic buddy read, which we do every month, and she was like, you can not do it this month. I want to do my Sapphic buddy read. It's just part of what we do. So a little bit of reading, a little bit of chilling, and then I have D&D in about 45 minutes. So I'm going to go and I'm going to do this so that I can just decompress from work. Not that I was doing, like, it hasn't been too busy at work, but you know what? Sometimes you just need to just like settle down from the working vibes. So I'm going to go and read this, and then I'll come back once I've finished, or if I've got any thoughts throughout this book. Hi guys. This is later than I anticipated this update happening. I forgot just how busy I was over the past few weeks, and because of how busy I was, I've not had chance to read. So I've read a little bit, but nowhere near as much as I would like to. So I am 93 pages into Let's Split Up, and I've read nothing else. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not loving this as much as I was hoping to. And I think what the issue has been is I have read some spectacular YA horror lately. Obviously, You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight was like one of my favourites of a long time. We've had that. Then I read the Clown in the Cornfield books, and they have been so good, so gory, so tense, and this feels very YA. Now, I don't feel like that's this book's problem. I feel like that's kind of my own problem for kind of setting it up as like, oh, it's going to be really good, and then it just not. I think it's really I'm trying to be nice about this book because I really want to read it and I really want to enjoy it. I feel as if there's certain things about this book that it's doing really well. But I also think that there is a lot of things that I'm not loving. So one of the things is Bill Wood is a British author, and this book is set in the US. Now, I am not saying that's a bad thing. I think that there's a lot of reasons why books should be set in the US, and I think there is certain things where it's like yeah, it makes sense, but like I think knowing Bill Wood is British is really having me struggle with like focusing on it, and I'm kind of nitpicking things that I'm like, I don't know if that happens in a high school. I don't know myself, but it just doesn't feel like it does. So there is just like a few nitpicky things that I'm picking up on, and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. This feels very stereotypical, which I don't love, for obvious reasons. The other thing I don't love about this is I'm almost 100 pages in. We've had the murder or the strange death in the prologue. And they didn't find out for a very, very long time that it had happened. And it just feels very contemporary YA romance in the backdrop of like a thriller. It doesn't even feel horror at this point. There is a ghost. It does feel very Scooby-Doo. And here's the thing. Looking at the back, there is a thing that says creepy, mysterious and fun. It brings big point horror energy to a new generation. And I do wonder if the reason that I'm not enjoying this book is because it feels very Goosebumps. It feels very Scooby-Doo. It feels very horror light. And I want Scream. I want proper horror, and this does not, it's not giving me it. I'm still going to continue with it. It is like 350 pages-ish, 330 odd pages. And I'm 93 in, so I'm going to try and like sit and read as much as possible. It is like 10 o'clock right now. Becca is currently at a concert, so I'm thinking if I put a creepy ambient horror on, like ambient horror like sound on, if I sit and read and just like kind of push myself to read it. But yeah, it reads like a debut. So I will probably, if I enjoy this enough to continue with the series, I probably will, just because I don't think it's fair to judge him on his debut book when he could continue and become better. But I don't see this being hugely hyped and high rated. I think the reason it's been so hyped and it's been so well received is because Bill is an influencer, and I'm not disregarding that, but there is a lacking of maturity, and I totally appreciate that these are YA characters and this is a YA book, but I don't care enough to be interested in the characters. So our main cast, we have Cam, Jonesy and Amber, and then a new girl, Buffy, comes in. Interestingly enough, we only get point of view chapters from Cam, Jonesy and Amber, and yeah, they all seem to have their own traumas and pasts and things like that, and there's clearly something going on with each of them for different reasons. So Jonesy has some things that's been going on with his family. Cam, like there's things about his past, and Amber was like the new girl before Buffy, so she came in like 5 years ago, and the way she reacts to the murder of Shelley and Brad, who, it's on the back of the book, this is not a spoiler, this happens in the prologue, but her reaction is really interesting because I'm like, But yeah, I want to read more. I want to see if I enjoy it more. I don't know if I will, but I want to give it like a good fair shot. So I'm going to kind of sit and read it a bit, and hopefully it gets better. I really hope it does. And the thing is, I don't think it's a bad book per se. I just think it's not a book for me. Like I said, I really like I really like a gory YA horror. I don't love gore in like adult horror. I'm much more of a psychological horror, spooky, creepy vibe when it's adult. But with YA, I think if you have the blood and the guts, it makes it better for me personally. I don't know why. That says a lot about me, I think. But yeah, I'm just kind of waffling right now. I think I'm trying to put off reading this book, but I'm gonna put my ambient sound music on. I'm probably gonna just sit in here, to be honest. Don't sit in here very often. Not anymore. Just because I like sitting downstairs a bit, or in bed. But I think I'm gonna curl up here and read. I've got a blanket, so I think I'm gonna sit and read for a bit and see how I feel. And hopefully I can finish as much as I can. Hello. It is Saturday. I have a few clarifications on this book to put out. First off, it is not marketed as a horror. It is marketed as a thriller. So, like, that's on me. And second of all, I'm still not enjoying it. It is marketed as Scooby-Doo meets Scream meets Pretty Little Liars. And it's definitely more Scooby-Doo than anything. I am 172 pages in, and I'm just really not enjoying it. So we're going to try and continue to read it, and I'm going to see how I feel, but I won't see it being much better. Guys, I finished the book. I really didn't like it. I think it's a 2-star. I think it's only a 2-star because there was one really tense scene that I quite enjoyed. But apart from that, this book was just not to my taste. I'm not saying it's a bad book because I'm sure people will enjoy it. But for me personally, there was certain things that I just think it lacked. I don't want to go into too much detail because Becca does want to read it and she'll be editing this. But there was certain things that lacked for me. There were certain things that I think could have been done better. There was a lot of things that I just felt was missing from this book and things that I think were there for no reason. And it just resolved in a way that was not satisfactory to me. So I have read this. I don't know if I'll be reading the second one, which I'm gutted about because I got the second one at Yalk. I'm going to leave it a while and see how I feel, but this was definitely not the book for me. Hopefully Becca loves it, but I personally just no. So I am now going on to my second read of the day, and I'm going to read A Treachery of Swans. It is an audiobook that I can listen to whilst I I'm knitting whilst I knit. So I'm going to go and sit and knit and listen to some of Treachery of Swans for a bit, I think. Hi. It is now the 28th of December, and unfortunately, I don't think that I'm going to be finishing this challenge. I have not picked up Mate again. I don't know what it is about this book. I will read it at some point and I will probably enjoy it.
Have I hyped it up too much?
No.
Okay. Because I did talk about it a lot when I read it.
I don't think that I'm in the mood for that book.
That's fair.
And I don't want to push myself to read something that I'm not in the mood for. So I think I'm just going to leave that for a while. I'm about halfway through A Treachery of Swans and I am loving it. It's really good. It's really, really beautiful. But again, I haven't had the time. I'm going to try and read a little bit today maybe, but I can't promise that I'm going to have finished it. So I'm not going to wrap this up until like the end of the month. Just so that if I need to, I can potentially read. But with this one being here, I'm busy, I'm distracted, which is fine.
I do also need to read though, so we could just have some time tonight or tomorrow reading.
Yeah, but I've got quite a bit of Treachery of Swans to read.
I've got 4.5 hours of this.
Yeah, but I'm also but I'm not going to finish 2 books is what I'm saying.
True.
So because I'm not going to finish both of the books, like there's no point. I'm going to try, but like we'll see. And then after that, like I'm busy on New Year's Eve and then it's the next year.
Yeah.
But with 2 left and I had 12 books, that's 10 books I've read for this vlog. So it's still a lot. So I'm not going to be too upset. But
and
we
you
will.
have been busy and you've been slumpy. So all of that combined, have you already said this in a previous clip?
Probably. This is a long vlog.
I haven't edited
No, you've not
all of it yet.
But like I'm not not being too hard on myself is what I'm trying to say.
Good.
But yeah, once I'm not going to talk too much about Treachery of Swans just yet. I will talk about it a bit more later on. I am really liking the vibe of it though. I will say that. It feels quite nostalgic and I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I will try and explain it a bit better later on. But yeah, I'm going to go so that my big head is not as big in this frame. And I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Hello. I have just finished A Treachery of Swans. Unfortunately, Becca has had to go home. So she is no longer here, obviously, because she's gone home. But whilst she has been travelling, I decided I was going to do a bit of knitting, as no one's surprised, and to read, oh goodness gracious, A Treachery of Swans. So I've just finished it. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed the writing. I think this is going to be one that I want to reread later on. I've given it a 4-star, not because it wasn't great, just it was very, very forced into a standalone, and I think that I would have been interested to see more. And I'm wondering if it's one of those things, if it was sold as a standalone with series potential and they haven't picked it up for series potential and have put the epilogue in. That was personally my only real reason for not loving it enough to give it a 5-star. It was really, really good. The stakes were there. There was things that I didn't. So there was that nice thing of like, oh, I was right, but also like, oh, damn, I didn't think that was coming there. So really, really enjoyed that. So that is this. It is currently the 30th of December, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to finish another book for this vlog that would work. So unfortunately, I do believe that that's going to be this this challenge not fully successful. But I think 11 out of 12 prompts is great. I am going to wrap this up now, though, because I do think, as I said, I don't think this is going to be finished. I also know that the amount of footage Becca has is about 2 hours, and that just seems a bit too much to add to another one. So I'm going to say this was successful. I did finish most of the prompts. I did finish most things. It might be 10 out of 12 prompts that I've done, but I think having done that many, I'm pretty proud of myself. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know. And I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.